Dance for me, rule boy.
Traditionally, a sporting match would start with a score of 0-0. Would you agree with that?
Feels like a trick, but yes.
Yes, that is generally true.
Hey.
However, there is a rule in the NCAA basketball rulebook that could potentially lead to points being scored before the actual tip-off of the game.
That doesn't sound broken at all.
Indeed, my good man, it was broken.
Hey!
You know that 20-minute warm-up period before a basketball game?
Yeah, for like layup lines and free throws.
Just general warming up, sure. You couldn't dunk in that time, because that's technically dead ball time.
Okay.
And if you do, you get a technical foul, and the other team will get free throws before the game has even started.
That's trash.
It's pretty trashy. It was Rule 10, Section 4, Article 1E. A technical foul should be assessed to a player or a substitute for the following infractions. And then one of them was a team member dunking or attempting to dunk a dead ball before or during the game or any intermission. So that like 20 minutes of warm-up time was technically dead ball time, and you couldn't dunk. Presumably the rules because they thought it was just like unsportsmanlike, because you can dunk in a game. It's not like a safety thing.
In high school, we would go to games early because there was one team in our district that had a guy who could dunk. And we would go early, and it would be awesome. And we would watch him dunk, and then they would blow us out, and we would go drink in the Whataburger parking lot.
The classic American story. This actually happened in the NCAA Tournament in 2014 in the first round, in the very first round.
Why not? Stupid rule, big stage.
This guy named Brian Rollader, he was this sophomore walk-on for Kansas State.
Fake name.
He's fake name, fake news, fake
30-year-old.
No, the sophomore walk-on is in a layup line, just practicing layups, and the timer starts for the pregame warm-ups, and he's at 19 minutes and 58 seconds, so he gets 2 seconds in, and just absent-mindedly kind of goes up and dunks a ball, and an official comes up to him and goes, hey, listen, that's a technical foul.
Hey, Bri, sick dunk, first off. You can't do that, Bri. I think I have a feeling based on his name. Was he like a star of the team?
He was not, actually. He played a collective 30 minutes-ish the whole season before this game.
And this is March Madness.
And this is March Madness. So it's the end of the season. So Kentucky got 2 foul shots before the game. The guy missed one, so they started the game 1-0. Kentucky was up 1-0 with 20 minutes to go in the first half.
I hope that was a pity miss.
Kentucky ended up winning by 7. So it didn't matter in terms of the tournament, but the spread was 6.5 points. So,
I bet people were cool with it, though.
So people were totally fine with that. I'm sure that guy didn't get death threats or anything from gamblers in Vegas.
So that's why we haven't heard of him.
That's why we've never heard of him.
He was set for the NBA.
Immediately disappeared. It's happened a couple of times, actually. The next season in December, North Florida lost to Tennessee Tech by the 2 points that they gave up before tip-off. They did the same thing. They were dunking before the game. Tennessee Tech nailed the 2 shots, and then they won by 2. So that was a huge bummer for them at the time, I'm sure. If you're a ref or an NCAA official in that scenario, and you decide to like call that penalty, you're a cop. You're for sure a cop.
You shouldn't be allowed to go home.
You should just become a cop. Yeah, you should not be able to go home. Just go to this police station and become a cop.
They should at least give some like a warning first. If he does it again, or like if without warning, if it's 5 minutes before tip, then yeah, tee him up.
Right. And I think the goal was to prevent like showboating or like unsportsmanlike conduct. But who is sitting there 20 minutes before a basketball game that you are showboating to?
Right.
The assistant athletic staff and like the dude selling hot dogs? Nice dunk, dude.
Brian's sitting there. He's like, this is the one game my parents came to all year. They don't believe I'm on the team. So what do you think like led to this? Who do you think the first Brian was?
I can only assume that maybe it was like, where did Shaq go to school?
LSU.
LSU. Maybe he was just had broken so many LSU backboards before the game even started where they were like, dude, you can't do that anymore.
Shaq, the other team like drove 12 hours to get here because it's the 60s. How old's Shaq? He's like 80, right?
Shaq is 82 years old. God. He's 3 years younger than Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
That's how he knows the general. His old ass.
They're old war buddies. They served together.
Okay, so one game, it affected the point spread.
Right.
One game, it literally affected the
outcome of the game.
So after that, they said, maybe this is a bad idea.
After that 2014-2015 season, they got rid of the rule.
Okay.
I don't know if you can dunk in intermission or whatever, but that pregame, like 20 minutes, you can dunk.
They
and
fix
it's
that.
fine. Yeah.
And they just go bananas now.
Yeah. It's just nuts.
So Brian, I'm not even going to pretend to remember his last name.
Yeah.
Essentially, basketball martyr.
A little bit. If you're a big dunking before a college basketball fan, you have Brian to thank for exposing this issue and being the person to give up a point before the game even started because of his love of dunking.
He died so we could dunk.
He died so that we all could dunk.
Thanks for watching Weird Rules. If you liked that episode, we have more weird rules about college basketball, or check out another SB Nation video here. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and given that it's a 1 in 365 chance that it's your birthday, happy birthday.